Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video, which I'm going to be sharing with you guys my incidences or stories or just my experience with sleep paralysis. Such a random video, and I know that you guys are probably confused why I'm filming this, but I thought that it would be really interesting, one, for some of you, but also maybe a little bit comforting, just to know that there are other people who are going through the same thing if you've had sleep paralysis yourself. As you will understand in this video, sleep paralysis is such a scary thing that I really just wanted to share this with you guys, because I was personally very worried about it, and you guys seem to really enjoy my like sit down chatty story time related videos, story time type of videos. So I hope you guys enjoy this one today, and if you're interested, keep on watching. So I thought that I would share with you guys sort of what sleep paralysis is, if there's any of you guys out there who haven't actually experienced it yourself or don't actually know what it is. And so I've googled it because I feel like they would be able to put it in a way that I can't, or like a better way than I would be able to explain myself. So sleep paralysis is a temporary inability to move or speak while falling asleep or upon waking. And one of the questions down below was what causes sleep paralysis, and I actually watched a documentary about this the other day because ever since it's happened to me I have been quite interested in it and I want to learn more about it. So I watched this documentary, and my understanding of it, I don't completely know, but apparently it's got something to do with like being in between stages of sleep, like your body is trying to wake up but you're in between waking up and being in a deep sleep. That's the general gist. As researchers believe sleep paralysis is caused by a disturbed rapid eye movement cycle because it most likely happens as people are falling into or coming out of REM sleep. During that stage, their brain normally paralyzes their muscles anyway, so they don't act out of their dream. It is very scary, and today I am just going to be talking to you guys about my experiences with sleep paralysis. I know there are so many people, I've read lots of stories about this, and I know there's so many people out there who have had a lot more scary incidences than I have, and I honestly feel so bad for anyone who has to go through that because it is such a scary thing. But basically I have two separate incidences of sleep paralysis, and it is such a scary thing that you almost become anxious about going to sleep because of what sleep paralysis is like. It's honestly like your worst nightmare, but like 10 times worse. But anyway, the first incident that I've ever had with sleep paralysis happened to me out of honestly nowhere. It hit me, and oh my goodness, the next day I was quite scared about going to sleep. It was pretty bad. So basically, as I explained before, sleep paralysis is like where your brain is awake and like you can see things, and you know, you're in like the present moment, but your brain is sort of like creating like a scary situation or something that makes you think it's real, but your muscles are still asleep, and so you can't actually move, you can't do anything, you can't wake yourself up. And my sister's actually had this quite a few times, and she taught me beforehand that she thinks that the best way to like get through it is just to go back to sleep. But this first time I was sort of like fighting it a little bit, as you would be. It's a very scary situation because it is like a nightmare, which is scary on its own, but it's at the point where you think it's real life and you can't do anything about it. So my little situation was, there was someone in my room and I could see them. I didn't know who they were, but there was a person or like a figure in my room, and I knew what was happening, and this person was like talking out loud. So I knew what they were thinking, and I'm gonna say he because I assumed it was he, but like I don't understand. This person I don't actually know. It was just sort of like a figure, and I knew that it was a person, it wasn't just a figure, but like I couldn't actually see their face or anything like that. But they were like walking around my bedroom looking for things to suffocate me with. And the scary part was that I could hear what they were thinking. I couldn't do anything about it. I couldn't get up and run. I couldn't get up and scream. I couldn't do anything. I was just watching this person try and find things around my room. They were going through my stuff, going through my drawers, trying to find things that they could suffocate me with. This person, I don't know, wanted me dead and wanted to stop me from breathing. And that is just such a scary situation, even just thinking about it. But just imagine being in that situation, thinking, you know, there's someone in my room, I can see someone moving around trying to find stuff to kill me with, but I can't do anything about it. I just have to let it happen. And I was petrified. I was very, very scared. And as this kept going on, eventually they found like socks, but they were like really, really thick socks. And this person, this figure, whatever, came over and tried to pop the socks like in my mouth so that I stopped breathing. And I couldn't really see anything, but it was like I could feel it, and it was very, very strange. I know it sounds crazy to some people who have never actually experienced that before, because I used to hear sleep paralysis stories and be like, that's so weird, like I can't even imagine that. But now that I've actually gone through it, it is petrifying. And this person was honestly like, I knew that they were trying to kill me, but the scariest part was that I could feel like they were trying to kill me. Like it was almost like I could feel something touching my lips. Like it felt like someone's like puffer jacket or something was like on my lips, and I don't remember exactly what they were saying, but along the lines of, oh, I hope this works, I hope she stops breathing. Like, and it was petrifying. I couldn't do anything about it, and I could feel this person smothering me, trying to kill me, trying to stop me from breathing. And honestly, like, it was the scariest thing ever. I did not know what to do about it, and eventually I assumed that I went back to sleep because I woke up and I was fine, but mentally I was just so scared. And I think because I'd realized it was just a dream, like, I don't know, for some reason I shrugged it off a lot easier than I probably could have or should have, because then not long after that it happened to me again, and this time it was a lot worse. So basically what was happening this time was I could see and hear everything was like it was happening in real life, but there was someone in my house and I knew that they were. In my house we actually have like sensor lights, so they come on and they sort of make like a ding noise, not like an actual noise, but you can, if it's very quiet, you can hear the light coming on, and the light comes on when someone moves, and that triggers the alarm to go off. And we have them all over our house, and there's one outside my bedroom door, and for some reason the door was open and I could see the light coming on and hear the sound. It was like it was happening, like it was very, very real. So I could hear that the light was going on. I could see the little red light faintly in the hallway in my peripheral vision, but I obviously couldn't move my head. I couldn't do anything. I was just there and I knew it was happening. And I could hear like the banging. I don't know what they were doing, but I could hear, you know, like the banging of like hitting stuff, and like it's just someone ruffling around downstairs, and I could hear the footsteps. And our house was built 30 something years ago. My parents built this house. There was nothing built here, but because it is over 30 years old, the stairs do creak a lot, and even just the floorboards creak a lot. Sometimes at night, you know, it does get a little bit creepy because you can hear, it's like footsteps, but it's just like the floorboards creaking because like the house is like, you know, settling. Anyway, if someone walks up my steps, you can hear it. It's like, it just happens, the steps creak, whatever, and you can hear anyone that comes up the steps. And I could hear it. The footsteps like were getting louder as they got further up the steps and closer to my room, because my room is at the top of the steps. I couldn't do anything about it. The adrenaline was building and I was getting more and more stressed. I was getting really anxious, and I could just hear this person coming up the steps. Again, I couldn't see this person. I didn't know their face. I didn't know them. They weren't really known to me, but I knew that I was scared of them and I was threatened, like something was going to happen to me. But this person came up the steps and I could see them out the corner of my eye, just like this figure went straight into the room that's across from mine and was going through like all the drawers. Again, they make like a very noticeable noise. They're not like drawers with runners, they're like, you know, just a box in a slot, if that makes sense. So you can like hear them being taken out, and I could hear all the stuff being like splattered everywhere. There's like coat hangers in there. I could hear the coat hangers going, and it was just very, very real and realistic. And then eventually this person, I saw them like stop, everything stopped for a second, and then this person walked straight across into my room and started looking around my room. And I don't normally do this, so this is why it felt really weird. I normally have my phone on charge in my next room, so it's not normally beside me. But this particular night, I needed to get up the next morning at a certain time, so I'd set my alarm and I decided that I was going to sleep with it in my room right beside my bed. Normally I'll put it on this bedside table, which is like closest to the window, but this particular night I decided that I would put it on that bedside table, which never happens. I do not do that. That would have easily been the first time I've ever done that. And this person walked in, found my phone on that bedside table, took it off charge and popped it in his pocket. So they were taking my phone. Obviously this person was robbing us, but it was so realistic because I was like, I did that last night. Like, I made the mental decision to put my phone on that bedside table, which I never do. This is actually happening, you know? It wasn't just like a generic thing. It wasn't just whatever. It was something really specific to that moment in time. And this is just what freaked me out. But I have had quite a few dreams that are very, very similar to this, where something bad is playing out and I just have to endure it. And the only way that I can get through it is if I stay calm, just relax and push myself back to sleep. Gently just go back to sleep. And that's what happened. And I sort of like, it was very, very hard, but I pushed myself into going back to sleep. And that was it. I know that there's a lot more dramatic ones than that, but that one was just so real for me. I have a huge fear of being robbed, and the fact that that was something that I do as a one-off. I've never done that before and I've never done it since, but that freaked me out because I never do that. And it just made it very realistic and made me feel like it was actually happening. And then the next morning I had to check that like my phone was still there, and obviously was. And I even woke up and went straight into the room across from mine just to check that everything was like okay, nothing was too messy, you know, because I could hear them like making a mess in there, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was fine. And it was, obviously, because it was just like a dream sleep paralysis thing. I don't even know what it's called. It's not a dream because it's scary, so it's nightmare. But that was my experience so far to date with sleep paralysis. I wouldn't wish it upon anyone. If you guys have gone through sleep paralysis, I feel for you because I understand how scary it can be. Even if you know someone who's been through sleep paralysis, I have a lot of friends and family who have gone through it. I think it also has something to do with like anxiety. It can come on if you've had too much coffee. There's a bunch of different factors. I haven't looked into it too much, but I just think it's very, very strange and scary. And I thought that I would get on here today and share my experiences with you guys. So I guess I hope you enjoyed this video. I don't know if you can enjoy this video, but I hope you found this video somewhat interesting. I'm not a doctor. I don't really understand it. I'm just a normal human, and this has happened to me twice, so I wanted to share it with you guys. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, and I will speak to you all very soon in my next video. Bye guys!